Hello, this is Derek from Future Vision and Growth Norman. I want to really discuss Norman as a music city today. I've been doing a lot of work and research lately on all the different visioning processes. If you feel like you're from Norman and you have what we call vision fatigue, I could kind of understand that. But I'm going to add another one just because I think it's super important that we identify ourselves in the right way as we're growing. Because I think there's three areas that we are really known for. We're known for athletics, we are known for art, and I think we are known for music. However, we have a good PR and great engine in athletics. Our art scene is doing amazing things and showcasing itself. Our music is very interesting. So I want to talk about that today because I think once we bring those three things along with the families and all the things that are coming in, that creates the synergy and energy we want. It creates the growth we want to keep our identity and who we are. But there's some things we need to work on. But so my things today are going to be what we do great and then what opportunities we have to do better. Right? That's all I'm going to do. I'm not critiquing as much as I am saying this is where we can do better than what we're currently doing. Let me start with what we do great. First of all, the venues that are in Norman do a great job of promoting who they have playing. Whether it is, you get them daily, sometimes weekly. They have lists of people that are coming to play. Their live music is incredible. The venues themselves, of course, are legendary. I did a video earlier this week that said, ultimately, if you have not played in Norman, are you really a musician? It was a little tongue in cheek, but I mean, it really isn't. Why? Because there are venues here that are storied venues that you should have. You should have a sticker from Guest Room Records. I mean, you should be looking at all of our new venues and the venues that are opening up as we are creating more live music on a regular basis. I think that's important. So I think the venues, you guys, thumbs up. Great job. Now, I think you collaborate. I think you collaborate pretty well. However, I think it becomes a little insular or it becomes a little private. Meaning, I want you to collaborate and have your discussions and organizations. But my question is, how do we take that collaboration and then turn it outward? So, this is what we're doing collectively as a Norman music scene and the Norman music as a whole, and let's push it out with the branding that goes with the Norman Music City Norman Music City. So ultimately we do that once a year. We do that in a massive way, and that is the Norman Music Festival. Norman Music Festival, people come here and they have a great time and they enjoy it, and there's a ramp up to it, and then there's the event, and then right afterwards it's a drop off. And everybody just runs away. We don't see them again until August again. So it's super weird in that way. I mean, we have this event, this super event that, I mean, we are bringing a lot of people here, and we should be able to capitalize on that, keep people here longer, and really look at what we can do to continue that momentum. It should be Norman Music Festival every day. That's crazy. But we should be able to fill our venues every weekend. We should be able to start thinking about, when do we start playing our live music? Does it always start at 6? How about 3 or 4? And look, let me be honest. When we first started doing that, it's going to be no one's in the room at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because it's not been a normal thing for us. So we would have to work on the promo of that ahead of time and maybe do that for a couple of months before we start it and say, by the way, we're going to start doing live music earlier so that people can go watch live music at 3 and 4 and 5. And then you have bands playing until the nighttime and into the evening. So you have your earlier people who want to go watch live music, maybe go out a little earlier, get home earlier, and then you have those that are going to go in at night and go party it up late into the evening. So I think that is super important. But I also want to recognize we have a phenomenal structure in Norman. So we have people that are producers and collaborators. People, if you listen to music people anywhere in the state, they've always said, yeah, we come to Norman and work with this person, or we come to their studio and work with this person in Norman. So we have all this stuff in place. I think we don't, again, promote it enough. We don't let people know this is what we have. These are the people that we have. So we're looking at the film industry. They're talking about creating the 3-legged stool that they need. So my thought is, I also think we need a three-legged stool in Norman for music, whether it is video production. So what sites do we have? What produce like film production companies do we have that can do music videos here in Norman, or photographers as well? You've got the production side that is the back end, the editing and all the things that need to do there, or maybe it's computer graphics or digital or other things to help kind of get that promotion in and marketing. Good business teams, marketing teams, they can get bands and can get that music out. Why? Because again, it's one thing creating music is another thing to get that business side of it taken care of. And then of course labels, record labels. I think that Norman should be home to a lot of record labels. Why? Because we have great venues, we have great people, and we're an incredible city. So why don't we have more record labels here? Why don't we create the synergy for record labels so they can come down here, then they can see our music, watch our venues, hire our musicians, and get it moving. I think all of those things are my three-legged stool. So I want videos, I want videographers, I want photographers, I want people like that. I want production companies that can do all the back end stuff, or all set up sets and all that, or creating the different spaces that we can do videos at. I think again, that's something that we can use the University of Oklahoma, Warren Norman Technology Center. I mean, we've got all the high schools, and we have incredible people that can do great things. We are artists, our musicians that are here every month for Second Friday. I mean, we have all these opportunities to really do some fun stuff. The artists and the synergy between the artists and the musicians and the collaborative work you can do, the mood setting. Also, it allows for us to promote the fact that we do that, so that then when we're looking at film production, if they want to come in, we can utilize our shops and everything that we do on the music side with a film producer, and then they know to come to Norman to get their music done. I think that is fantastic as well. Now, one of the other opportunities I want to say is YouTube should be utilized, whether it is you sharing your band, playing snippets. I don't say put out there for free. I don't think that's the thing. I think you can give them a snippet, a teaser, a taste. Say get the rest of this on Spotify or wherever you're selling your music. I think you can give them a little hook and then say that. You can do interviews and do that. I don't think you should give it away. I just don't. I'm looking at that my own self and the way that I give out my ideas and what it does and the ripple effects. Well, because I said they do well. I know what I'm doing. I've got a vision. It works when people do it. So it's a matter of just getting it out there and making sure people do it and get it finalized. And I think that's important. But I do think that I can tell you, I went on YouTube last night, looked up Norman music scene. The last thing I saw was 8 months ago. It was 8 months ago or 9 months ago. And it was a Norman Music Festival. That is the last thing I saw about live music in Norman on YouTube. YouTube is the largest platform in the world when it comes to videos. We should have a massive presence on YouTube. Just our musicians, our venues, and then collectively as a city, there should be a Norman Music City page. It should be on there. You should make sure that's all there. Now, downtown, fantastic. They will list every day who's playing where in the downtown area. That's fantastic. Just expand it out. I want it to be more than just downtown. I said, why? Because I want it to be Hollywood Corners. I want it to be, as a matter of fact, I want it to be regionally. Why? Because when I look at Norman, I have to tell you, I think of Norman in its big sense, which is Norman, Noble, Slaughterville, Purcell, Lexington. That to me is Norman. Little Axe, Goolsby, if you want to add Goolsby. All of those areas are Norman to me. That is our metropolitan area. So I look at that. So when I'm looking at events that are happening, it could be the Bell Star Saloon down in Purcell. They have live music there on a regular basis. I share their stuff. Why? They're Purcell. Purcell is like our city to the south. I utilize this region. So if you have something going on in one of those smaller cities, get it on my page, Oklahoma Singers and Songwriters, and you can do that. Or you can just go on my page and check out artists as well. And I do that statewide, but I also will have Norman artists on there as well. So these are just things that I'm like thinking right now. Again, looking at what we have the venues, we have the artists, we have the bands that are playing, we have the infrastructure. The things we need to market a little bit better. We need to utilize the Norman Music Festival as a springboard to keep that live music coming all year long. We need to watch out for the drop off afterwards. We need to make sure we have video production, computer production, and all the other things that go with videos and sets and things like that. And we need to attract record labels. Now, they don't have to be huge. They can be local record labels and build them until they're big. I mean, that's what it will. We can do that. It doesn't have to be like massive record labels. But when you start talking about record labels, they're looking for places to go to find new artists. Why not say, hey, by the way, set up shop in Norman? Check us out. Because again, once you get record labels and then you start, when they get awards, put it up. When they get awards or they've won an award somewhere, get those musicians from Norman or that have been in Norman or have been a part of the Norman music scene, put their pictures up and their award. I love it. One of my favorite things, I went to Nashville. I've been to Nashville. I love it. I've been to Memphis. I said, I love that. I said, I've been to several music cities. I love some of it's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. It's overboard. I don't know if I want to be that big. That's kind of a whole different thing. But I do love the fact that like when they do something good, they have a banner and they put it up. So-and-so is a Grammy artist. So-and-so got nominated for a Grammy. So it was neat, and you could walk through and see the pictures. You could tour the legendary venues. You could, hey, this is where this person played. I mean, why people are not going into Opolis or the Jelly or, I mean, like Red Brick Bar or Blue Bonnet or, I mean, Hollywood Corners is relatively new, but still legendary in its own right. I mean, Resonator, we got all these places that are doing live music. And of course, our breweries and all the places, wineries and stuff like that, where music is happening, that we can continue to promote you as a venue and add more to it. So that's my grand scheme, grand plan, is the idea that we need to hit these areas. And I think that's doable. I really do. I think it comes down to a person who wants to be the creative head, who wants to market Norman Music City as a city. So you know what? We are who we are. We're going to be Norman as a music city. It needs a brand, a better brand than that. I'll be honest with you. So that's where you guys just come in. You creatives, it's true. So when you talk about our Norman sound, what it sounds like, who we are, what we're about, and then of course we have amazing, amazing bands coming for the Norman Music Festival this year. So it's gonna be bigger, better than ever. So when it is, what are we gonna do with it? How do we capitalize on it? Do we bring people in early, let them tour and test it out, play the venue, and then just spend time here? And how do we keep them afterwards? Do we bring them back? Do we do like a showcase afterwards? I mean, what do we do? So what venues do we have? What empty buildings can we use to kind of get that set up in the different parts of Norman? Because again, music should come out of every part of Norman, not just central Norman. It should come out of the north side, the east side, the south side, the west side. And we should have music from all genres. Why? Because we have people from all genres. We have international music. We have orchestral music coming out of the university. You got jazz. We have incredible opportunities. Blues. Let's do all of it and just see what happens. And I think once we do that and the energy is up and we create that, then we have an opportunity to explode even more. Which I'm like, I know everybody's like, what? You're crazy. I was like, no, really. Like the amount of creative energy unlocked by music and the connectedness. Music is a love language. Music is a universal language, and we all need music. So I want to create that space for people to come here, live here, and just feel here with us and be here with us and connect with us and join us and really create that vision as a music city. So I'm looking forward to Norman, Oklahoma, becoming a music city. If you are, please get in contact with our Chamber of Commerce as well as our Visit Norman people or NEDC. They, of course, are 3 organizations that are working on all these things. essentially simultaneously. So I want to make sure that we are adding music as that third piece. So it's going to be amazing. Thank you so much. I hope that you join me. Listen to some live music. Come visit Norman. See you soon.